Let this sink in for a second. All right, you ready? 10 months ago, Guggenheim Partners CEO Mark Walter bought the Los Angeles Lakers. His $10 billion bid was approved by the NBA's Board of Governors in October of 2025. And on Sunday, August 12th, 2026, he turned around and flipped the most iconic, storied franchise in basketball history like a suburban fixer-upper. He dumped it on Disney's Bob Iger and venture capitalist Josh Kushner and ran out the back door with a cool $2.5 billion profit. Now, if you listen to the mainstream sports media, they're going to give you the corporate PR version. They're going to tell you it's a historic evaluation and a triumph of sports market growth and a new era for Los Angeles. And they're going to brag about Disney's Bob Iger or how great of a venture capitalist Kushner is. Well, I'm here to tell you, that's complete BS. When federal agents raid your home, seize your mobile phone, serve grand jury subpoenas to your insurance companies, and start tracking $21 billion in third-party loans, you don't hold on to a sports team. You look for the nearest emergency exit on planet Earth. This isn't an NBA transaction. It's a corporate rescue mission disguised as a record-breaking sports deal. Today, we're breaking down the absolute circus behind the Lakers being sold for the second time in under a year. We're following the money. We're looking at the federal paper trail, exposing the NBA's CBA trap, uncovering the high-stakes political shield game being played behind closed doors. And if you don't believe me how the media is trying to spin this, I'm even going to play a few clips. Strap on. It's going to get filthy.
Los Angeles Lakers have a new owner. One's name is Josh Kushner. The other owner is the greatest executive I have ever known, the former CEO of Walt Disney, whose name is Bob Iger. You can't do any better than this if you're the Los Angeles Lakers. You can't do any better than this if you're the NBA. What is this gonna mean for the Lakers? I'm gonna put this in perspective for y'all, because Bob Iger is my guy. I worked for this man for many, many years. He's a mentor. I love him dearly. He is the best in the business, best executive I've ever known. I don't give a damn what anybody says. 2 stints at Disney, spanning 18 years. Their market cap was at about $51 billion years ago when the man started. He departed, it was over $252 billion. When you talk about me and where I am today, there's nobody that I owe more gratitude towards than Bob Iger. The man is next level brilliant, a savant as a businessman, one of, if not the greatest ever, the Michael Jordan of executives is what I call him.
On the court, I do know that when the Walters group came in, everyone was like a new day in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. They know how to run pro sports teams. You're gonna have the smartest people. You're not gonna lack the resources, all of this. I'm not saying Kushner and Iger won't do that, and they do have some history in, Kushner owns a piece of the Heat. He's gonna have to divest of that. Iger owns an NWSL team, so they have some, history there, but it's not the rich history of what the Dodgers folks had. So if I were a Laker fan today, I don't think I'm overwhelmed in a positive direction by this news, but my initial reaction was a little confusion and surprise at never seeing a team flipped like this, especially a team like the Lakers.
This is huge, obviously for all of sports, but definitely the NBA. One of the most storied franchises now sells for $12.5 billion in Los Angeles. This came about pretty quickly. Is that what we're reading and learning? And did you expect, or anybody expect, this was a possibility?
Yeah, I got a tip on this last night, real late last night LA time. I think the agreement just closed right around when I got a tip and stuff, and it was somebody called me and said, "Are you sitting down?" I said, "Okay, should I?" And I didn't know if it was true at the time. It took me kind of all night to confirm it, and obviously this morning we were able to report it, and it was. Pat, I mean, my mind is still a little blown here. Like, this is a lot of money, but not even just the money. It's how fast this closed. From what I understand, Iger and Josh Kushner were in the expansion process trying to bid on the Vegas team. Those talks are going nuts right now. I think the number for the Vegas expansion team is climbing close to what Mark Walter paid for the Lakers back last year, which was $10 billion. And at some point, these two guys are pretty smart and they go, well, why would we buy an expansion team for 10 and then have to spend another 2.5 to build a stadium in Vegas without at least calling Mark Walter and seeing if we could buy the Lakers for 12.5, right? So on Sunday, from what I understand, Mark Walter got a call from, I believe it was Josh, but it might have been Bob. It was this group, okay? And just said, are you open to this possibility? And Mark wasn't really looking to sell, but he had to think about it. And he had a day to decide. And then they got to work on the agreement. And it all wrapped up since Sunday. I mean, nobody knew. Like, everyone I called trying to confirm this was like, this all just happened really fast. And I think we're all making sense of what this means for the Lakers going forward. Mark had just put in all these Dodger guys. They had just hired all these people. And from what I understand, all those people, it's going to be business as usual until this sale closes. The NBA will have to vote on it. They'll have to approve them as owners. But there is a sale agreement in place right now, and it's for Mark Walter's shares. So the Buss family still has a minority stake in this team. What does that mean for them? We're still figuring it all out.
Now, before I dive any deeper into this, I want to start off by saying everything is alleged. The investigations are ongoing, and this is just my opinion and the way that I see it going and the reasons behind it. Okay, with that out of the way, let's start with what everyone thinks is the main story. And this is actually my second hardest hitting take on the entire situation. Mark Walter was forced into an absolute panic sale because his insurance-backed financial empire is taking on heavy water, and he realized that NBA's collective bargaining agreement is an operational nightmare that his baseball cash couldn't fix. First, let's talk about where the money actually came from. Walter didn't pull $10 billion out of a vault like Scrooge McDuck to buy control of the Lakers last year. Mark Walter's secret weapon has always been insurance assets. Through his holding company, TWG Global, and entities like Group 1001, he controls Delaware Life Insurance and Clear Spring Life. The playbook is simple, people. You take billions of dollars in policyholder annuities and insurance capital money intended to pay out the retirement claims down the line, and you deploy it into high-yield, opaque private credit loans. He did it when he bought the Dodgers in 2012, but this time, federal prosecutors in Manhattan, the SEC, and the FBI started connecting the dots. According to regulatory filings, over $21 billion in loans extended by these insurance companies wove through sketchy third-party intermediaries and wound up right back on the books backing Walter-controlled companies and business ventures. Investigators served grand jury subpoenas and literally seized Walter's mobile phone. Delaware Life suddenly had to reclassify $16 billion in assets as affiliated investments. Translate that from corporate speak into plain English. The feds are looking at whether Mark Walter used policyholder annuity money as a personal piggy bank to fund his sports empire. You guys, when federal regulators start breathing down your neck, you need liquidity to patch up your balance sheets before enforcement actions freeze your assets. But there's a second part to this fire sale, the basketball math. Walter thought he could handle the Lakers like he handles the Dodgers. In Major League Baseball, there's no hard luxury cap. You write a $700 million check to Shohei Ohtani, defer 90% of it, eat the luxury tax penalty, and print money at the gate. In modern NBA, the new collective bargaining agreement is a straitjacket lined with razor wire. The second apron doesn't just cost you money. It freezes your future first-round draft picks, strips your mid-level exceptions, restricts your ability to aggregate salaries and trades, and completely kills your roster flexibility. Walter looked at an aging, declining Lakers core, realized that he couldn't just throw $300 million of insurance money at the problem to brute force a championship, and he realized he was trapped in a financial vice grip. So what does he do? He takes a franchise he bought at a $10 billion valuation, slaps a $12.5 billion tag on it, and extracts $2.5 billion margin in 10 months, and uses that liquid cash to buffer the plug on the massive crater in his insurance balance sheet before federal regulators pull the plug on his whole operation. It's the ultimate Wall Street bailout, starring the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, let's get into the real dirt. The hardest hitting take in this entire scandal that mainstream sports won't even touch because they don't want to burn their exclusive executive access. This sale was never about getting cash. It was a buyout that included political armor and trading cultural capital with the most powerful elite in America. Just look who took the keys to the Lakers. Joshua Kushner, founder of Thrive Capital, brother of Jared Kushner, brother-in-law to Ivanka Trump, and Bob Iger, the longtime kingmaker and CEO of the Walt Disney Company. Notice how this deal happened? There was no open bidding war. There was no months-long formal auction process like with what we saw going on with the Washington Commanders or the Boston Celtics. Reports confirmed that this entire $12.5 billion transfer was cooked up and finalized in a matter of days. Why? Because when you're a private equity insurance mogul staring down federal fraud probes from the DOJ and the SEC, you don't just sell your assets to any random billionaire off the Forbes list. You hand the keys of the ultimate cultural megaphone directly to the people who hold massive political and media leverage. The insider narrative circling through Manhattan and Los Angeles right now is simple. Mark Walter didn't just extract $2.5 billion in cash. He bought goodwill, protection, and back-channel leverage at the exact moment he needs powerful allies the most. And on the buyer's side, Kushner and Iger were originally trying to secure an NBA expansion team in Las Vegas through Thrive Eternal. But why wait until 2029, spend the, as of right now, $5 billion on an expansion fee, and build a brand from scratch in the desert while trying to pull up money for getting a new arena built? When a desperate under investigation billionaire will hand you the keys of the Los Angeles Lakers on a silver platter today. And who gets left holding the bag in all this? The fans and the ghost of Jerry Buss. For 45 years, the Los Angeles Lakers were the premier mom and pop shop in global sports. Dr. Jerry Buss built an empire on passion, flair, and basketball instinct. Jeanie Buss spent years promising the city that the Lakers were a sacred family trust, a team that would never be treated like a line item asset on a corporate balance sheet. 10 months ago, she surrendered controlling power to Mark Walter. And in less than a year later, Walter treated the most historic franchise in basketball history like a tech stock option. He flipped it to a venture capital firm and a Disney executive without so much as a second thought about the production on the floor, the roster construction, or the fan base. The Buss legacy wasn't just passed along, it was systematically erased and converted into a corporate shell game. Drop a comment right now. Is Mark Walter a financial mastermind who just executed the slickest $2.5 billion exit strategy in sports history? Or is this an absolute dirtiest handoff the NBA has ever allowed? Smash the like button, hit subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and I'll catch you on the next breakdown. I'm JK, and I just broke it down. Thank you guys.